Did I explain myself on the narrative of tribalism? Did I make sense?
So what I'm wondering is, if we Gen Zs don't understand the mountain narrative, how are you going to engage us and find a way to position yourself or position these politics beyond one term and beyond the defense of Mulima? And by the way, I'm not embarrassed to be Kikuyu. I'm from Kirinyaga and Nyeri. You know, you can't get Kikuyu than that. You know, I'm very Kikuyu, but we have, you know, but that's just the truth. How are you going to convince us? Because, you know, I'm trying to explain to you the way we see it, right? There is that pride, yes, you know, of being a Kikuyu. You know, but there is also a people who don't see that. And we as Gen Zs are saying we are tribeless and we are fearless. And the politics being done now is the way it was done 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you know. And that is what is really scaring us, because if we divide ourselves, if you say you're coming to the defense of Mulima, then there's someone in, I don't know, Rift Valley or Western, who will also say they are going to that defense. And then there will be another group, I don't know, in, where? Coasts, yeah, we are going to that defense. And then now, there will be a vacuum gap, and then Ruto will become president.
I feel you. And the Gen Zs will help us deal with that nonsense. Because they are tribeless, and they are fearless, and they won't change. And nobody can intimidate them or coerce them. But before the Gen Zs help us to have that change, those communities that are targeted by Ruto for extinction must be protected. Because if they are not, there will be nobody to vote. So I hear you, and I understand the way you think, but I also want to tell you, at back home, the Gen Zs your age understand what's going on, because they are just there, and they are feeling it. They can see that persecution, they can see the discrimination, they can hear the talk, and they can see the way they are being targeted. Because when you go to Kahawa court of terrorism, and out of 100 people charged, 96 are from one area. In the cells, they talk among themselves and wonder what is happening. Yeah. So that is a situation that is there. And it behoves upon leaders. If a people are under siege, those people must be cushioned from destruction and from fear. Because if they become fearful, then the oppressor has succeeded. You see, people want to intimidate people into fear. The Gen Zs cannot be intimidated, but the rest of the population, they buy fear quite quickly. So we must keep on reassuring them, no. Nobody will target you, nobody will wipe you out, nobody will destroy your businesses, so that they feel comfortable and they are able to soldier on. You must keep on giving people assurances, especially where fear is being sold. Most of members of parliament are one term, but they cannot dare say because of fear. They cannot even go to a meeting where one term is being discussed because of fear. So you just find a few of them who are courageous. And that's where the Gen Zs now have become a movement, because they are fearless and they simply don't care. And it has even reached a place where I had to ask the Gen Zs, please, you have made your point. This guy has said you should be shot, and he's doing it. I'm requesting you, much as you are fearless, I need you to help me get the change. And for you to be useful, and for you to enjoy the change you desire, you need to be alive. And this guy is already killing you. So much as you are fearless, you cannot walk into death when you can see this is death, isn't it? So we have to blend that courage, that fearlessness, also with reality. And as a parent, as an elder, I also have a responsibility also to guide my children. Where I feel they are in danger, where I can see they can lose their lives, I have a responsibility, much as they are fearless, much as we need them to help us get the change that we desire. It will be responsible on my part as a leader to allow them to walk into death when I can see. So we continue balancing these things. It's a very difficult, delicate act, but we are getting there.
My name is Wanjiro Gethai. I'm here for representing the 625 movement, so June 25th movement. We are a number of us. Some of us are here, some of us are still coming, and we are Gen Zs. And Mheshimiwa, we are here to tell you the truth. And if we don't tell you the truth as Gen Zs, we are doomed to fail and Kasongo will be back in power. And that is the truth. We have many questions, but because of time, I won't address the questions. I'll just stick to the point. You need, Mheshimiwa, to start positioning yourself as a national leader, not as a tribal leader. And I know many people won't like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. The first mistake that has been done in this event is speaking Kikuyu. And me, I'm from Madeira, Karandi. You may take so not everyone knows Kikuyu, but I know a little bit. And unless that is addressed, then all this will be for nothing. Because the moment we position ourselves as Kikuyu, another tribe also positions themselves at a certain tribe. And before we know it, we are back to the same problem. I watched a speech about you in Boston, and the speech was a good speech, but there is something you said that Kikuyus are more hardworking, I'm paraphrasing, economic, we've grown the country. But we have done that because we are a beneficiary of the system of Jomo Kenyatta. We cannot say that there are other people from other tribes who are not hardworking. They are. It's just like the whites here. We have that sense of entitlement as Kikuyus, and it has to stop. And if I don't say that, I will not be telling Mheshimiwa the truth. We want Kasongo to go, but we have to say the truth. And what else? Right now I can't think of any other thing because we are still waiting for the program, but thank you so much.
Rigathi Gachagua is tribal. It's a narrative created by William Ruto because there's nothing else he can say about me. I have not been involved in corruption. Had I been involved in corruption, he would have been taken me to court by now. Had I done a single deal with the government, today I would be in prison. He has nothing against me because anything I have said has come to pass and people know I'm a man of integrity. So all he says is that Rigathi Gachagua is tribal. But nobody listens in Kenya. The reason being, Rigathi Gachagua is not tribal because when William Ruto stood as president, he was not Kikuyu, he was Kalenjin. There was a candidate called Mwaura Wahiga. If I was tribal, I would have supported Mwaura, not William Ruto. When things were working for him, he had such kind words about me when I was supporting him. This guy is a people's person. He cares for the ordinary people. He's a great mobilizer. He loves his country. You play the clip, what he said on May 15 when he unveiled me as running mate. It was the best poem I've ever had in my life. He had such lovely and kind words about me. But now that I disagreed with him to tell him you cannot kill children, you cannot steal the country's wealth, then he says Rigathi Gachagua is a tribalist. My daughter, please, don't fall into that narrative. When you are here, you talk about Kenyans, you don't talk about America. Every group of people have some identity. Never allow anybody to make you feel embarrassed about who you are and where you come from. That narrative by William Ruto is meant to intimidate the Kikuyu nation and to make us feel sorry about who we are and challenge our capacity to work hard. And that is why when I get an opportunity, I must remind the country that the Mount Kenya people have not been given any advantage by anybody. They are wealthy, they are enterprising because they work hard. They are industrious, and they must be allowed to be. If I keep quiet, the people will be intimidated to feel sorry about themselves and who they are. Nobody has given the people of Mount Kenya any advantage. If you want a loan, you must pay security. If you want a business, you must pay licenses. The people are simply hardworking. By me saying they are hardworking, I never said anybody else is lazy. No. I don't believe in negative ethnicity, but I believe in affirming my people and who they are, and I defend them from intimidation. My daughter, if you follow what happened 2 weeks before I came to America, you realize why I have to defend the Mount Kenya people. Businesses for the Mount Kenya people were targeted for destruction. In other areas, they were not destroyed, because they wanted to intimidate the people of that region into silence. If you look at the people who were arrested and taken to court, 92% are from that region and charged with terrorism. If you do remember, there was a meeting in Mount Elgon where William Ruto was seated, and the MP for Ebuya West, Honorable Wanyama, said that all communities will gang up to isolate the mountain people. And William Ruto was there laughing and clapping. Somebody must defend the mountain. If all of us get intimidated and allow the people to be intimidated and to be made to feel sorry as to who they are, what happens? And I say, I don't have to be president. I don't have to be anybody in Kenya. And if I'll be nobody, because I stand with people, let it be. I supported William Ruto knowing he's not a Kikuyu. I and the people of Mount Kenya are nationalists. We are good people. Against the advice of Uhuru Kenyatta, our own son, who was president, he told us this man is a thief, and if you elect him, you shall suffer. And we said no. We promised him. We have an arrangement. We are honest people. We are men of integrity. Let us give him a chance, because we are not tribal. Had we been tribal, we would have listened to Uhuru Kenyatta, our own son. So let nobody tell us that the Mount Kenya people are tribal. Please give us a break. We are not. We are good people. And that is why you find today all other communities are happy to work with us. Because we are good people, we are honest people, and we are nationalistic. And we are part of Kenya. But that does not change our identity and the language that we speak together. Just the way we respect other communities and their right to speak their own language, we too must be respected and be allowed to speak our own language. All that noise you heard in Kenya when I arrived in Seattle was because of the Game Festival. People who don't like us or unhappy that the people are so many looking happy and singing their songs. That's all. They would like us to be divided so that they can rule us forever. And I am aware and I'm very conscious that our unity is our strength. And our relevance in the national political discourse is informed by being united and casting our vote in one ballot box. So I want to assure you, my daughter, we are good people and we are national. and I work with everybody. And I have traveled. I was in Ukambani. I was received like a king. I was in Mombasa, Kilifi, Malindi. I had a good engagement with the people. I was in Narok. I was in Kajiado. I work well with the Ma. I was in Bungoma. I was in Kakamega. I was in Vihiga. I was appreciated by those people. The people of Kisii are waiting for me because they know I'm a Kenyan leader. I am a nationalist. But much as I'm a Kenyan, I'm a nationalist. I come from somewhere. And I retain my right to talk for those people if I find somebody who wants to throw them under the bus. And that is something that we must do all the time. Why